So don't let them steal your life.
Hey guys, thought I'd talk a little bit today about a conversation that I've been having in the comment section of a TYT network video about female circumcision. Not really circumcision. It's a new thing that's coming out where a lot of teenage girls are watching porn on the internet, and they're deciding of their own free will to go and get like vaginoplasties, where they basically take the labias or the sagging, kind of like what men would call meat hangers, and cut them so they look more aesthetically pleasing. Well, I brought up in this that they're talking about this and acting like it's a real problem, and of course it's Anna Kasparian. They bring up the point that this is a big problem because women have these high standards of what they should look like down there and all this stuff, and they don't bring up once the fact that we have a systematic problem in the United States and in many countries where it's the most pernicious form of a matriarchy that we can show, that little boys are systematically mutilated. And whether you're religious or atheist or whatever, men know that most women find it aesthetically pleasing a circumcised boy, and they know that they'll have a better chance of having children, having a wife, and being married if they circumcise their child. Therefore, they're circumcising their children. They're mutilating their children for the pleasure in the future of a woman. And I think if we were doing that in the United States for the aesthetic pleasure of men, as a child, as a baby, they were cutting women's vaginas up as a child, I think that would be not allowed. That would be something that women would be outraged over. And they always talk about equality. Well, this is something that is, I don't think you can get more vicious in society than this. Then there's some major problems with boys that have these surgeries. One of the problems is something that I've experienced, something that many other men have experienced that have been on my show, where they lose feeling. You lose a lot of sensitivity in your penis when this happens. You end up with scar tissue. In some cases it makes it very hard for men to orgasm at all, and it makes a lot of men not really enjoy sex. And it was started in the 1920s. There was a campaign that came out from a Christian organization championed by women and some other religious people, saying that if you circumcise boys, that will make them not masturbate as much. And this is still going on in society today, and men are still acting like it's perfectly fine, to mutilate your child. And like I say, this would never happen to a woman. And I think this is something that needs to be talked about much more, that these things that are overlooked only because they are about men need to be talked about much more. I'll leave the video in the section below, and you can see what I said and what was said. And many people have this idea, like somebody left in the comment section, I'm pretty sure that it's not just for cosmetic reasons. Well, if you're going to be systematically mutilating young boys, you might want to be more than just pretty sure. And if you're going to go and get a surgery like that on a child that has just been born, you might want to know a little bit more about it than it might be good for them. You know, if you're doing it only for the aesthetic pleasure of yourself, your wife, and his future girlfriends and wives, then that's the wrong reason to do it. Basically, it's the same thing as taking a dog and pruning its ears and cutting its tail off because that's the way the breed is supposed to look, even though if that didn't happen, the breed wouldn't look like that. You know, you're pruning your children like a little, like a little dog. And that's how you're treating boys in society. And feminists will act like this isn't a problem, you know. When they talk about female genital mutilation, they'll talk about countries in Africa. Yet they completely forget about the over 100,000 boys that are born in the United States every day that are genitally mutilated. And that's not a problem because it's boys. It only matters if it's girls. And like I say, I'll leave this in the section below. You can watch the TYT video in full. I won't put it on here. You can watch it. And leave in the section below what you think about this. I'd like to start a dialogue on this, maybe talk a little bit about it on the MGTOW Roundtable, and see what you guys have to say about it. I think it's pretty sick, and I think this part of society needs to wake up. And if it's up to women and feminists, I don't think it will. So I think it's only going to be brought about by men and MRAs and MGTOWs. That's the only way it's going to be revealed, and something has to be done. And if, like I say, if we leave it up to women, it won't. So leave your comments, questions in the section below. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, share, like, and subscribe. Thanks.
So don't let